Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the MFL Ramble, the Metaverse Football League. It's season 12, baby. Rollover's finished. The death knell has been hammered down, and all of our players after getting birthdays. I think from speaking to people, it feels like this season has just been big for the amount of tombstones that have appeared on our cards. I know I've certainly had the most I've ever had. But as you can see, I'm joined, as always, by our blue-eyed Braveheart, the gentle Web3 giant that he is, and that is Hoodwink. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thanks. Mark's back at school. Laura's in the office at work. I have free time to
Nice.
myself. Beautiful.
Finally. He finally got a free house. And as you can see, sandwiched between us in Ramble filling is YTXP filling, and that is BigMrK. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get the big billing like Hudders did then. You really zoomed that up, and I just get, he's only Yorkshire TXP, but I'll let you off.
You're the filling in our sandwich. That's the most important part of any sandwich, isn't it?
Hey, I like the sound of that.
But yeah, as you can see, the early people in the chat, we have Jimbo. Afternoon, gents. Afternoon to you, sir. We've got Amreezy saying, hey, babes. Nice. I quite like that. Nice. Got Dan, LFC. Afternoon. For me, it's still morning. I only got up like an hour and a half ago. So I had a dreadful night. I had an MRI yesterday, which normally are okay, but they gave me like contrast dye, muscle relaxers, and the prep for it. I had to drink before, and honestly, I'm not going to go into details, but I spent a lot of the night up, visiting a certain part of my flat. But yeah, it was a tough night. But I'm here now. Everything is okay. And you know what it is today? It's pack drop day. So you know what that means? One of us is getting a Lego. And by one of us, hopefully me, Hoodwink, or always say BigMrK as well.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. But one of us is going to get one. It feels like it happens at the moment once a year. So maybe that will ramp up and one of us will get lucky this evening. If we're getting packs, of course. I've charged my wallet, so I can afford to get a few limited ones and stuff like that. But aside from that, I'm tapped out until next week. But let's talk about rollover first before we get on to everything else. BigMrK, how did rollover go for you? What kind of tombstones with death did you find in your agency?
To be honest, I don't want to jinx it, but I've been somewhat fortuitous during my time at MFL with tombstones. I got the one that was one that I looked at and went, because I took a gamble. I bought him pre-rollover day, and he threw at the flag. But he'll do for the season. He's all right. It's a Lego midfielder that I bought, sadly, because I do really like the look of the stats on this chat. But other than that, not too bad. I got off pretty lightly from what I've seen of other agencies, especially with lots of players. It looked quite rough.
Oh my God, you've got quite a lot. You've got approaching 800 players.
Yes.
Only one Lego.
So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Definitely could have been worse.
Yeah, no, exactly. Hoodwink, what about yourself?
It was pretty like my main team. My main players survived, but my basically like Daegu and Livy boys, like Stone and Iron, got hit pretty bad with a few of my kind of high 70s rares. A couple of fullbacks, a couple of wide mids, a couple of strikers. So no ideal, but I've done my teams. I can make it work for a wee while still.
I saw that you posted in the Ramble boardroom group chat that you've finished all your teams now, so you're starting the testing. But you've got, like a lot of us, you've got a really aging gallery. Like a lot of your best players are in their 30s, as they often tend to be, because that's when they sort of finish their progression. But some
of these guys I've had for like a year and a half to almost 2 years I've been playing now, and some of these guys have been since day one or like the first couple of months. So it's no like, it's heartbreaking to see, but it's no quite unexpected these days to finally see these guys retiring.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's still tough though, isn't it? I remember like on Monday, I was determined this year to sort of ignore it and just log in later on, but then they announced it was starting, and I thought, I just want to see how quickly it gets done. So I was like, first 10% is done. Wow, that took like an hour. And then apparently back end, I think Lucas or Yax or someone like worked out like a quicker way to do it, and then it sped up and it was done far earlier, I think, than it had been in previous seasons. But yeah, it was a bit tough on me. I sort of count it as a win, really. But I got 34 new tombstones, but only one on two. Oh, two? No, where are they? Yeah, two. I thought it was one, but but I never use him anyway, so don't know where he'll go to. But Rocker was a bit annoying because he was a winger I picked up last season. I was just hoping he'd stick around for a bit longer. But to be fair, it could have been a hell of a lot worse because a lot of the Legos I'm buying were already in their 30s. Yes, they're old mints, but some of them are still going to retire early. So I was hit quite hard in the rare department. So quite a lot of my rares chucked to tombstones. But yeah, 34 in all. But really, the only one that sort of I cared about was Rocker. Yeah, I sort of count that as a win. I know some of there was more ultimates this season than ever before, wasn't there? I think there was 15 ultimates picked up the tombstone. I think it was like 12 last season. I might be slightly off with those numbers, but it is up anyway. And again, something you'd expect. It was a bit heartbreaking for Bob that the guy that he paid loads for to bring in to replace Beckman got the tombstone as well. So Turto, like one of the best centre forwards in the game, who can also play striker. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing from Bob's point of view. But I think Bob, again, because he does have a lot of older cards, I think that was the only main one he picked up. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Interesting. What about people in the chat? Can anyone beat 34 in terms of new? I'm sure someone can. We've got a few more people in the chat. We've got Bruce in there. Oi, oi. Oi, oi to you. We've got Andy Official. Hello, sir. Jimbo, text your DM. Do it, Jimbo. Got Nathan in there. Good afternoon, all. And Root is in the chat. Is Root back from holiday? Did he make YTN XP this week?
He did. He's going again, though. I think that's his third holiday this year so far. He's going on another one shortly. He's just forever going on holiday, that lad.
Amount of money, yes. You would have thought we'd be buying diamond teams and sort of like ultimates and stuff like that.
Nah, he doesn't. What he does, he still sticks to his teams and his uncommons, but then on top of that, he won't release them to Yorkshire Team XP shared team. He just won't relinquish players. So me and Bruce have kind of put the Yorkshire Team XP team together this season, and Root's going to have like a token gesture player in there, I reckon.
Yeah, let's talk about it because we've got club delegation was announced on Monday. It came with a few surprises, I guess. One, the sort of limited, the Flint, I can't remember the name of it now, the Flint League, where you can co-manage with somebody and it's bigger leagues, but your players also get more XP. I've bought another Flint team just to participate. I just need to find a friend now. We should, probably is a little bit harder than you would think when you get to my age because all of my main mates think I've been a geek for playing FBL for decades. So trying to get them into a Web3 game of football management is just a non-starter. So I need to remember to DM my brother, who I think is in Fiji at the moment. He lives in Hong Kong, but he spends more time on holiday than Root does, and that's saying something. But
wow.
So if I can get hold of him, maybe he can be my friend to play that league. But yeah. Club delegation. I'm not going to delegate out any of my clubs. The Ramble team we are going to delegate out. Previously managed by Hatton unsuccessfully. I think Hoodwink, did you have a brief stint as well?
In Stone, I think.
In Stone. And then Hoodwink, Kev took charge and fired it up the divisions. So now it is a silver team.
Now we need to come back down.
Yeah, we need it to come back down.
We need a bad manager.
We need someone with the skills of Hatton, not Hatton. Someone with the skills of Hatton to get us relegated.
Let's get Doss back.
Oh no, because then you just wouldn't get any MFL from it at all. You'd just forget and like forfeit games. Literally, would just forget everything. But yeah, we need someone to manage that, and I think that's the main one I'm going to send out. Aside from that, I'm just keeping all my teams. I have bought a new team for this season, currently called Crimea Rover. In Flint, that will get the monkey rebranding at some stage in the next couple of days. And hopefully I will enter is it 100 team leagues? No,
It's 38 team league, 38 teams, 40 teams, something like that.
38 games.
Yeah, 38 games. That's it.
And that's going to be fun, isn't it? Because that's going to be like 2 games a day or something ridiculous like that. I don't know whether they go in the cup as well. I'm assuming so.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, would they have enough gaps in the fixture for it? Sounds like a fixture nightmare
as well.
Yeah. Jimbo's saying they go in the cup too. Flint Staff League, that's the one. Thank you, Jimbo. You know, we all got the same info, but Jimbo's the only one that reads it. So thank you, Jimbo. What about you, Hoodwink? Are you farming out any of your teams?
I don't think I am. I think I'm going to, like, the reason I was thinking about it is because a few of my lower teams, which I really enjoy, their games are usually when I'm putting Mark to bed. So I'll try and watch like a couple live before going into getting them into bed and that. But I'm obviously not going to sit and watch my games and when I'm reading bedtime stories and that. But when
you get into
when I watch them back,
MFL match, so like, rather than reading
should
a story,
be I could delegate a team to Mark. That's his bedtime routine. But it's not as engaging. It's still good, obviously, but it's not as engaging watching it back, like just going to watch replay, because you skip a couple of bits and you didn't, and you're watching it live and you're properly into it, and you can't skip or anything like that. So I was considering it for maybe one of the ones that I just didn't get to watch their games, but I didn't think I will. I'm too much a control freak that and it's only 7 teams. It's not like a huge amount.
Yeah, no, I found 11. Even when I was sort of up at my mum's and I was a bit more busy doing stuff and sort of out a bit more, I still found it quite easy to sort of, do all the teams. Like, obviously, Adam, you've got, 30 teams or something you were saying?
I own, I've got 39, 38 I own. One of them's a Dow team.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah. So
you have delegated out some teams, haven't you? So how did that go? Was the process easy?
Actually, like assigning a staff member, dead easy, really simple with the UI. You head over to the staff thing, you search for the username on MFL, and then there's loads of parameters. You can give them a title. It doesn't make any difference, I don't think, so you can choose what permissions you give them. And I had 29 clubs available for delegation, and at the moment I've got 25 delegated out now successfully, and I think majority of those have now got teams sorted as well. Most of them are registered.
And a lot of them are in Flint leagues. Are you going to play the staff league?
Not playing the staff league. I've only got 5 or 6 Flint licenses. I've got the lion's share of my lower down teams. That's 29 or so at Spark, because it's almost impossible to get relegated to Flint. Like, you have to be like 0 points, nothing to get relegated. All teams last season that would have got relegated stayed up, which is fine. I don't mind. And got them all delegated out, all on the agreed sort of process and terms that are part of the community. So I've just got 4 more I need to find a home. Otherwise I'm doing myself.
Who's got Shalong Ball?
That one would be, Blades has got 3 of mine. And he said, have you got another Flint one? Because the missus needs one. And I was like, she can have Schlongball if she wants. So Blades' missus is running Schlongball now. So he had a great laugh going through the team. We're looking at all the players, and we moved some contracts around so he could put some of his missus' players on. So we say it's Blades' missus. I think it might secretly be Blades, but I think Blades' missus has a bit of a handle on what the deal is. So that team's been farmed out as well.
So where does it say? I expected it to say some club owner and then manager. Does it say staff? There we go.
Staff, go to staff.
Oh, Dan W is looking after this one. 35%. Yeah. You're a generous man. Oh, total revenue share. Is that the revenue share for Dan? Is 25%?
Yes. Yeah. So when you send an invitation, you can set the rev share. As soon as you send it, if they accept it, it's guaranteed. So even if I sack Dan today, he will still get 25% because that's the agreement. The rest of the rev share, if they've been using my players, I've asked them to up that rev share to 100% overall for the club, so 75% for me. And then after that, if they're using my players, 0%. If they're using their own players, that's totally fine. I'm not worried about that. So he's loaned in a couple of my guys there, but it's just on the agreement that, for example, with Dan here, he can't loan in anybody else that would use up the 75% more. But I've got 2 conditions like targets for managers. If they get top 3, I'll cancel one of the 5% contracts before rollover. If they make the quarterfinals of the cup, same thing. If they make both, I cancel both. So anybody who's got rev share with these clubs, they get 25% base, and it can go up to 35 based on performance.
I suspect that will be more generous than a lot of people will be offering.
Yeah, this is before a delegation came out. I did it about mid-season break. I sat down and looked at the finances of what I was getting last season and what I could get if I had time to really try and focus and look at fixtures, look at games. I just prioritised cups with all the ice teams and lower last season. And I worked out that if, on average, I was finishing about 8th in the league, and what I'd get if I did it myself, if I gave away 25%, but on average we were getting top 3, quarterfinals of the cup, or both. If I gave away a bit more, how would that turn out? And it just worked out so much more profitable. So I was happy to give up 25% because then someone's got like incentive to do it. Like there's a real, they get a tangible amount because you're talking 25% at Spark. It's not groundbreaking, agency changing sort of money, but it's a nice tick over. I mean, in some cases, there's a couple of guys who have borrowed clubs on no rev share at all because they just want a home for their players. They want to play them somewhere and they don't have to buy a license. That's fine for me because I get I'm just looking to use these for, a bit of a progression farm, but at the same time, just keep churning out that MFL.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So would you say the whole process was quite easy then?
It is, other than the influx of inboxes you get, because any notification regarding the club that was it Bremner on that one then, if he offered a contract to his own player and then he accepts it, I get the notification to say your contract has been accepted. So I just get bombarded, and then I get all the contract offers if they're loaning my players in. And then if I accept them, I get all the acceptance emails as well. So other than that, it's been fine. The only issue I've had, I think it's been sorted anyway, is if someone wants to cancel a contract and the staff member does it, I don't always get the notification. I have to do it myself. But there was an interesting conversation point that came up when there's a few people reaching out to me, sort of discussing stuff. Like if you're selling licenses on the market now, what if you put a staff member, say, who's your mate on for 50% and someone buys the club? Well, you might not realise there's a staff member there. They've got 50% rev share tied up through their mate because he's a staff member. And even if you bin them off, it's guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean, these days, if I buy a club, during the season, I have to look at the price. Then you go in and look at have they got a team in there? Are the team, what percentages are they sharing? Any contracts they're trying to cancel, anything like that needs to be checked before you buy.
Yes.
And that's totally a bit more complicated, I guess.
Yeah, but usually if you go buy a club this season, it gives you that little pop-up warning like a player. The contracted, this is how many players they've got, etc., etc. This is how much rev share has been using before you confirm. I don't know if they've got a mechanism in for a staff member being in position on the club, but I don't want to test it because if I do test it, then I'm kind of stuck with it. So I'm selling a club I'm trying to sell the club at the moment because I just don't need the bronze team. I don't really have enough depth in players for them. But I don't want to test it, find out that is the case, and there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, interesting one.
Yeah, no, it's tough, isn't it? Trying to work all that sort of stuff out. And I'm noticing that even though you're not managing the teams, you still get the matches are still coming up. So, theoretically, if someone like Trust the Process, I don't think he will from what I've heard, but if he sent out 50 teams, then he would get, and they all ran friendlies at the same time. It literally would just clog up at his latest matches. Literally, it would just be constantly filling up with new games because they'd all be running friendlies at the same time. So maybe there should be a setting to turn that off so you can turn off friendlies results so it doesn't clog up the system there for your latest matches. Or maybe you don't care, or maybe some people don't care. But I think if I had a lot of teams and that constantly was going through friendlies of them doing it, would probably be a bit frustrating. But
BigMrK, Sid's asking about your pack, if you got your 250k pack, which I watched on stream.
I did, Sid. I did. Noe Sark, I'll give him a shout out. He was selling one. He was willing to go to a certain price if I couldn't get the one that I was asking for a certain price. And I think it was Eric Barberic got in touch and said, I'm happy to sell one. We discussed it, negotiated the price, happy with the price, because I looked at who was in the wallet for MFL, who had been minted at that range, and I think it was like over 70% of that 80 to 89 range was like 24 or under, and I was like, for the gamble, yeah, let's do it. So
I don't know which one it is, but I guess it might be Katana.
It is.
Yeah, that was a nice pull.
Yeah, I was very happy with that. I opened it on the podcast stream, recording, on Sunday night, actually. I said to the boys, if I get one, I'm going to open it on the recording. So we sat there, and I was nervous as anything. And there's some very, very nice looking Legos currently in the MFL wallet that were fairly newly minted. There was a 89 rated, I think he's 19-year-old, striker, left mid, right mid, and he's 90 rated across all of them, all those positions. So slight fingers crossed I got him, but I'm very happy with that pull. You can't argue with that.
Nice. Do you mind me asking how much you paid for it, or is that under wraps?
No, you don't. I don't want to call.
Yeah, 470. Yeah.
Yeah, 470 in the end. Yeah, I mean, if you're going by how much MFL it costs to get one, and the average sort of 10k cost per MFL, it's not a bad price. I would say around 500 is roughly if you went like for like. But a lot of people were looking for like 525 because it depends on what baseline they're using. If they're using a rare pack amount or a common pack amount, it's quite hard to price them. But I think I've done all right. I think I've done all right there.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. I think that rare packs from what I've seen, and roughly 100 sometimes over.
Yeah.
But so they're 47,000. That's 250,000. So yeah, you're not far off really there.
No, and I think I've ended up with a pull that theoretically is worth more because I cannot get anything to give me an idea as to what price that player is because there's just nothing similar in terms of sales.
Yeah, I would guess he's definitely worth more than that.
I hope so.
That age, but
yeah,
that's a nice pull. But right, what else are we going to speak about today? Obviously, it's pack drop day today, so make sure you tune into Jimbo and his surprise guest, whoever's co-hosting the show with him. I don't know who that is, but I hear they're bloody amazing. Then before that, we've got Amreezy's show, so make sure you tune into that if you want to get in the pre-pack rep mood. But before that, let's talk about any changes to our agency in terms of sort of clubs, anything, and plans with some of the teams, and then we'll get onto the main topic of the day. So, Hoodwink, do you want to fire off first?
Your
team last season, Edinburgh Castle won their Bronze League with another team, probably a massive achievement. That you have got them up. You had a decision to make. The decision was: do you loan in a load of players to make them stronger, or you just rip it as it is? What have you decided to do?
I'm going to wing it. I've got 0% loans across my teams now, so I'm just going to... So I'm pretty much going to get relegated. Like, I don't think we'll survive relegation, but I didn't really care. It's too high a level for my players that I've got anyway, so I just can't be arsed trying to get loans in and finish in bottom anyway. So I'd have to give up a fair chunk of MFL to make it worth getting the loans, I think. So I'll just try and... obviously try and survive, you never know, but focus on the cup and just wing it.
Although you have put your Legos in there, I was a little bit surprised about that. If I was you, I would have just taken the Legos out and just gone with the min overall, rip the money, and then overpower one of your lower teams. But then I guess you'd have a problem next season if your next team down got promoted.
You're maybe right, because two of my Legos are retiring. They're on their last legs, so they'll just be rotating loads anyway. So my other guys will be getting more game time for their positions. Alan Santos, I can't have Alan Santos in Iron. He's my hero. He's my talisman. So he'll lead us.
You would love it.
No, I know, but he's my boy. I'm just gonna. It's pretty much the same team except. I think my goalie retired, so I bought a 81 rated goalie on his last season for like $3.50 just to be my backup. I got him last night. I think that's probably my only addition for them, and I'm just going to go for the cup really, because at least that'll be a level playing field, and just take the beatings.
And so, any sort of major changes, the objective some of those teams. So Edinburgh, you're fully expecting to get relegated. Daegu, I guess, like from just looking at the squad, is probably mid-table iron team, maybe relegation fodder as well.
Well, we survived relegation on the very last day of the season, so that was success. Mid-table would be great. I don't think they're not going to compete for the top. So, a mid-table finish would be nice for the MFL. And I think, do I have my wee young striker in there that I packed? 22-year-old. I think he's in there, 79 rated guy. So, is he? I think I've maybe got a couple of my young guys. Maybe they're in Livy. But I've got a couple of my young guys in my stone and iron teams that are rares and actually like some of my favourite players. So progression really for they guys, make sure like they're playing at a high level. But it's really again I just survive relegation and try and have a mid-table finish. And again, the cup run's always nice. But I say that every season, and I'm always terrible in the cup.
Yeah,
I think probably one of my favourite teams is the Livingston team that I was in with BigMrK last season, and they went close, like surprisingly close, because I didn't really expect to have a promotion push, but we took it to the very last game of the season, and he beat me, was it 1-0 maybe, and he got the third place, and I ended up finishing fifth. But whoever won that would have finished third, which was a nice surprise. And I mean, they're probably a stone level, but again, I'd like a promotion push with them, and they've got some really, really good players as well. They're probably my favourite team to run, to be honest. Apart from Edinburgh last season, obviously, but I like the Livy team.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. And then with the lower teams, anything that you wanted to do with those guys, or are they sort of like?
Again, a lot of. I'm going with smaller squads again. I think maybe last week or the week before I said I probably wouldn't do it this season. But actually, I'm just going to try and run like 18, 19-man squads again and really hope for progression. But I was a bit gutted not to have a couple of promotions lower down, like especially my Spark team I thought would have been good enough. But it's my first season running the 4-3-3, so like I didn't perfect it immediately. Had to change quite a bit, and I think I maybe finished. Oh no, I finished third, but I lost in the last playoff.
But apparently, 4-3-3 is the unbeatable formation. I was listening to Wendirk yesterday, and on there he was looking for it to be banned.
When Hoodwink runs it.
Yeah, I reckon
that
run it that aren't good. It's just that some people, do perfect it and work at it, and some seasons with my teams running the 4-3-3-D, it takes me a bit of time to perfect it. It's definitely not an unbeatable formation. I just think that a lot of people follow suit, see some people playing it and running it. And like Jimbo, as Jimbo said, he's running it this season too. I guess that's with the Platinum side, isn't it? That you've taken over for the season. So after your comments on Monday, if you don't absolutely smash it with your Platinum team, then I certainly wouldn't. You.
I enjoy it. I think I said that in the stream or in one of the chats that I've really enjoyed trying the 4-3-3 and having wingers and the centre mids. I've got a couple of one of my centre mids, Garcia, that I've had for a few seasons. I think he got 13 assists or something for centre mid, which is really fun because usually I play a CDM than a cam. So getting him involved in the play was good, and having my wingers is always good fun to watch. So I've really enjoyed it, and they've done well. As I say, I finished third with that one. And I think I just would have preferred to get away to Spark with that team, to be honest. And for a couple of my other teams, I packed that 17-year-old uncommon striker. So I've put him as a main man, as a main striker in one of my teams, in with another retired striker. So he'll play more 20 odd games.
Does he wear lead football boots? 58 pace.
The packs, I didn't think there was any packs that had 80 guys in the whole MFL community last week. My God, everyone was so slow. I think both my strikers were slow. My CDMs are slow. Everyone. I think my defenders were slow. Zero pace.
Nice.
But all he needs to do is shoot. Make good movement and shoot.
Nice, exactly, yeah. Well, before we move on, we've got SR Borough, oi oi, oi oi to you as well. We've got Sterned Draghi, who I think is, you have to remind me, actually, I think, looking at my Discord, you're Defang, aren't you? I think. And I DM'd you just before we started streaming. But who else we got in here? We've got Andrew Q. Morning, afternoon, gents. I've been hearing a lot of Andrew Q recently. Dirty Man has been doing the rounds, getting in all the nooks and crannies of the podcasts. But it was fun listening to you on the shows, and of course having you on here as well. We've got Sid in the chat. Young Legos are turning into rare prospects now. They certainly are. Yeah, it's tough getting them. Like, I'm just hoping like that 16-year-old that I pulled turns into a Lego before he gets to 20. That would be a fun card to have. And like the Lego that I pulled in my pack, where was it? Best Nard. Obviously 23 now, and it was a couple of seasons ago in, but he's like charging up. He's been doing well. So +3 last season. If he can make sort of decent progression this season, he'll turn into sort of a decent player. I mean, he's already a decent player, but yeah, no, it's good. I'm reading in the chat. Dan's popping into a meeting. I'll catch you later. And yeah, no, so it's going to be a fun season. I guess on my front, I had a decision to make this season. Let's have a look. So my clubs, Funky Monkey got promoted via the playoffs to gold. I really wanted to give it a go in gold and see if I could stay up. But, you know, the guys that loaned to me, Sid, Bob, Zoot, like I haven't checked with all of them yet. But, you know, I think it's just tough. Like they want to put the players in sort of different places this season. And that, you know, I've got absolutely no problem with that, of course. I just appreciate them loaning them to me last season. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to min overall Funky Monkey in gold and farm them. Never thought I'd be doing that, but yeah. So I haven't built my squad yet. So they're looking. It's a blank canvas at the moment. But unless something changes in the next few hours, then I will be mining that team and just farming the gold and going for the cup, which is still pretty decent in gold. But I don't know. It just feels like, you know, I should give it a go. But I know from last season that it's just tough in there. You need sort of 90 rated guys to do well, and I just don't have enough of them in my agency. So then Monkey Magic will essentially be my best team in silver. And then I have 2 bronze teams that I'll be filling as well. And then 3 iron teams because they all got promoted from stone last season. And I will probably make one of those a promotion team, and then another couple of them probably mid-table teams, although it really would depend on how strong people sort of build their teams. And then, yeah, sort of going down. I'm not so bothered about these bottom ones, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting season for sure. Like, I think they were talking about, well, some of their farm teams came up as a topic on When Dirk this week as well. Someone was saying, or someone asked a question, should they be banned? What do you think, Hoodwink?
Why would you ban them?
I think it's difficult, isn't it? Because if you get a team promoted, like, you know, you can't force people to sort of go out and buy sort of like open squads or loading squads, especially when the loan market just gets tougher and tougher every season.
Because for me, like it's not like my silver team. Now it's not a farm team. That's my main team. But I'm not really gonna. I could go out and get loans in it, but as you say, you can't force people to do that. And I suppose the only problem, I don't know what came up on that conversation, but I suppose the problem is like it depends how they're taking care of you as well. Because if you've got like a farm team that's just like getting, 15, 16 players or something, they're just getting, into the red so quickly, then they're getting pumped 3-0 every week. Whereas at the start of the season, they might get a couple of wins. Remember that, was it the Dortmund meta squad or something like that was in Spark or whatever, and it had rares or Legos or something, and they were pumping everyone at the start of the season. And then, halfway through the season, they're absolutely dead. They just never logged in again. So giving up 3-0, I know that's not a farm team, but I can see kind of issues with that kind of thing, because you're not getting the points at the start of the season, and everyone else is getting like free wins when their fitness is down and that kind of thing. But I think it's just part of the game and part of people's strategy and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, no, I think that's an issue from sort of my point of view as well. That people that sort of like start to forfeit matches, whether that be sort of because they're just not paying attention to the team, that winds me up a little bit.
Aye.
Especially because you don't know when it's going to come. Like, I remember it was quite funny. Like I was watching Simply Alex's stream, one of them last season, and he was running sort of like he'd looked at the teams that he was upcoming games, and they hadn't rotated at all, and the fitness was already down. So he rested his good guys, and then for the first game in like 12 games, they actually rotated and put all their best guys in, and they sort of like beat him. So I did feel a bit sorry for him from that point of view. But that sort of stuff when people are sort of doing it. But although Funky Monkey in gold, there'll be a min overall team, I'll still be setting tactics for each game. I'll be trying to win each game. I won't be leaving it and just like not paying attention to it, because if I can sneak some wins, I know it will rile a few people up, and I love doing that. If I can play some funky tactic that sort of like frustrates people and manage to squeeze the odd 3 points off people when they were hoping it would be an easy 3 points, that will give me a little bit of joy. So, but yeah, I fully expect to get trounced in most games.
I don't think I get, like last time I was in silver, I did get a few loans in, and I finished bottom of the league, but I got like 20 odd points, which is very like reasonable, I think, and finished bottom. So like, although I've not I think I've got 3 or 4 Legos loaned in. I've not got them this time, and the strength creep is like is going to be a lot harder. But I still want to win. I'm still going to spend like most of my time on that Edinburgh team for tactics and that kind of thing. So like, there's the effort put in, and like whatever MFL I'll get at the end of the season will be what I deserve for the efforts that I've put in that kind of thing. So
yeah.
Right.
What about you, Mark? What's your views on farm teams?
I agree with that idea of when you face said farm team, especially if they let the fitness go. So on paper, it's an easier game. It's sort of like 70% of the way through the season, you start seeing the real impact of that. Because if you happen to have played them twice before you've hit that point, you've played 2 competitive games to a degree. But then after that point, anybody playing that last 30% of the season is getting like on paper a game, an easier game. But needs must. I had it in practically every league I played in last season. There was one team where they were pretty much minimum rating required and they put loads of old players in there, players they're not expecting to progress, so they're not worried about how they get on and how they perform, or they've got retirement flags, they just put them in there. I think having league minimums at least keeps it somewhat competitive, because if MFL wanted to do anything about it, now we've got so much strength creep, they'd bump those averages up, wouldn't they? Because I don't know what is the minimum for gold. I have no idea.
82 for gold, and then you're allowed 5 players lower than that.
Yeah, so if they upped that to, I don't know, 85s, and then as a minimum for the expectation for the league, at least all gold teams are playing Lego players. Like, if they wanted to do that. But I think as it is, it's fine, generally speaking. It's just that if you end up with teams that end up forfeiting.
That's the only thing I hate when people sort of mismanage teams.
Calling me.
Sorry, daughter just popped her head in and said, "I thought you were calling me." I'm thinking, talking MFL. I'm not sure I did. But yeah,
she wants a bit of Big Mr. K love.
That's what she wants. Oh, she wants food. It's one of the two.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a sort of tough decision. What do people think in the chat on farm teams? We've got Amreezy in there. We've got Gully.world. Morning all. Morning to you. Scott Jenks in the chat. Afternoon to you, sir. Rory, scrubbing my silver league last season, forfeited the first 2 games because he'd registered and then taken the team out. Yeah, I don't know. I've noticed that Scrub sort of mucks around with his teams quite a bit. It's sort of, a bit of a funny one. But it's tough sort of like, sort of building your teams. I haven't got around to it yet, but I will do it today. But it's going to be sort of interesting sort of building them, and then I need to look and see what loans I can get in. But it is tough trying to get the loans in that you want to sort of do it. Like, I think if it was only Legos in golds, it might be quite tough, because I don't know how many Legos there are, and Legos, like, a lot of them are Legos because they've been progressing loads, and a lot of them will be retiring. So, I think this is the first season where we've seen that so many players have got that tombstone that 3 years time, like, I haven't seen the numbers. I'm pretty sure that someone sort of mentioned it, that Defang's there. You weren't Defang. Whoever it was before that was calling Defang, you weren't Defang. Hello, Defang. But yeah, no, it's tough. Like, especially with all the players that are retiring. You know, has anybody announced the number in terms of like the amount that are now retiring in 3 years? I expect that it's a massive jump up from whatever it was, 10,000 in 2 years.
Alexis usually does. We'll see if he's put it on his Twitter.
Yeah, no, I know that he sort of put that, but yeah, I'd love to know. But yeah, let's talk about sort of the main topic of the day then. So the topic that I wanted to speak about was tactics versus instructions, or both. And it all sort of relates to squad building, because when you build your squads, you're fundamentally making a decision on what you're going to do for the season. So I made a decision, 5-6 seasons ago, that I was literally just going to stick with the 4-3-3 defensive, sometimes 4-3-3 attacking, and I was going to make it the best formation I could. Now that meant that I could have slimmer sort of teams. I didn't need to, so I'd maximize the game time for the players that I had on teams, and that makes it a little bit cheaper for running multiple teams. I think, and I firmly believe, that you can make any tactic work with enough sort of, work on it, enough preparation, enough training matches to work out, what settings work for each particular season. It may take you a few games when a new engine comes in. And if you're running friendlies now, it probably won't be the same engine by the weekend, because Friday is historically the day that the final engine drops. So I'm personally waiting until Friday now. I've played around with the engine already. But after Friday, I'll sort of start to work on what settings work for my 4-3-3, and that's the way I play the game. Kev, on the other hand, he may pop up in the not too distant future. I know he's on his way back from work, so he may pop in a little bit, but he's very much this formation beats this formation. He's got a spreadsheet that he works out at the start of the season when he's doing friendlies, what formations do well against what formations. Now he needs to run much bigger squads and have a lot of variety on the players, hopefully players that can run multiple positions, so that he can actually manage that. I didn't think he made too many changes to team instructions, but I think he focuses mainly, he does change them between each tactic, but that's the direction he goes. He's been quite successful doing that, and it's fair to say I've been reasonably successful doing it my way as well. So firstly, before we move on, I guess, have you guys got any thoughts on which is the best way to play? Which way do you play? Which way would you prefer to play? Start with you, BigMrK.
I've done both in the past. When I first started, it was build a team and have a squad that would enable me to run, here's my main, but here's this formation, this one, and having options and changing it for every opponent whenever I felt like I could, and tweak the tactics, individual instructions. As my agency grew in terms of clubs, it was becoming almost impossible to do that. So I worked out, because everyone knew I used to just run 4-2-3-1 religiously, start with that as a base, and from that 4-2-3-1 you can run loads of different formations. Your 3-5-2-B, 4-1-2-1-2, 4-2-2-2. It's the same sort of positions and players, and you have enough composition in the squad, and you can do with that with around 18, 19 players, and swap between them, just tweak the tactics. I have like a setup for each one that would work, and try and prioritize, okay, the 4-2-2 is good against, I believe, this formation, so I'm going to run it in this game. As my industry got even bigger still, that was even less feasible. And also how many players you've got, how good they are, the depth of the players and stuff. So I think it really depends. I do subscribe a bit more now that you have your main, like you do, David. You've got your main formation and you finesse it. And if you're able to, tweak it per team and tactic wherever you need to, formation. But having it in your locker that if you need to, you can swap to something. I had to last season, because the amount of bloody suspensions you get when you're running like your left and right mid between three players, because one's dual position and three of them are all suspended at the same time. You're going to have to change your formation, aren't you? So it's one of them. But yeah, I think sticking with your way of working, David, is the way to start. And then if you want to sort of go game by game, club by club. But potentially one of my forfeits for not getting promoted with the Yorkshire TNXP team is that Hammers had proposed every team that I kind of care about, I've got to run a different formation with for the season. So until that's locked in, I'm not doing it yet, but I'm quite enjoying the idea of, I can try lots of different tactics and formations and all these different things. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I do have some players that I could play other formations, and I am debating having one that plays a slightly different formation this season, just so I can sort of try and prove my theorem that I can get any formation to work, but given enough time. But and it is a little bit more fun. Like, you know, I quite like sort of optimizing the 4-3-3 defensive to try and, you know, get the optimal thing to get the best results I can for my sort of squads. But, you know, it's also fun playing different formations, isn't it? But yeah, no, I think you're perfectly right. Like, you know, if you're just starting out this game, trying to sort of learn lots of different tactics, and there's so much noise in the community, it's like this formate, like, you know, Kev will announce this formation is brilliant this season, but maybe it is brilliant, but it's brilliant because Kev's players are really good for that formation. Otherwise, he wouldn't be running it. And Kev runs lots of friendlies to perfect that. So if someone else just, brilliant, it's like 3-5-2-B is the OP formation, and they just plug it in and they can't win a game. It's like, well, you know, of course you can't. You need to have the right team instructions, player instructions, and the right players to run that. So it's quite difficult. Hoodwink, what's your sort of overall view on that?
I am very similar. I did go through a phase of setting like 3 preset tactics or 3 preset formations and working through them, but then I'd find I just ran one of them for most of the season. Then I'd maybe play someone I knew. Like, I think I played Kev in a cup game and I was like, you know what, I'll switch it up and surprise him. Didn't matter. Like, I much prefer having a tactic that I think I'm never going to perfect it. Like, I'm not a tactician, but that I've perfected to like that suits my team. And just an example, when someone says like this tactic beats this one, and I've tested it. Like, for example, if you go with my right mids, say I play a 4-1-2-1-2 usually. So usually I've got a defensive fullbacks pretty much in my main team, but I've got like Becker, who's my right mid for Edinburgh. He's 83 rated right mid, and his defending is 83, which is a huge for my team. Like, the way I play, that's huge because he's like a bit of stability, and 79 physical. So he's class for duels. He gets booked a lot. In the last season he got booked a lot and got a couple of red cards, important ones as well, the bastard. But he's really important to how I play with that team. But my next best right mid is De Fatima, who's got 45 defending and 65 physical. So like testing against my 4-1-2-1-2 would be completely different. On even just my right hand side is going to be defensively weak as fuck, but a guy that can pass a lot. He's got like 90 passing, against a guy that's actually defensive and actually going to put up a fight against your left mid, or if you've got an attacking left back, Becker's going to stop him, whereas De Fatima's just going to get rinsed. That's why I think it's hard to say this formation beats this one, because everyone's like individual stats are different, and like with friendlies, you're not really set up with your best, or I'd assume most people are only set up with like their best team set up ready to be take friendlies against people. And personally, I just prefer to try and perfect a tactic. Like, I find it quite stressful when I've got like 2 is fine, but see, when I've got like 3, I find it quite stressful trying to kind of rotate between them and trying to work out what's going to be like my next opponent, and that it's no fun for me. Whereas I prefer, like, I'll scout my opponent and I'll think, to attack down the left, attack down the right, play a higher line or anything like that. But like, try to pick a formation that beats him, I just didn't find fun. But some people absolutely love it. Like, Kev loves it, and like something like, Bob and Southern, they still do it. But remember, they've spoken before about like enjoying that part of the game. And like,
if you look at like my 4-3-3 defensive, I have like essentially 5 of those set up as predefined sort of tactics, and they're all slightly different. Like, one might be direct with a deep line, another one might be higher line, to press on, and they're all slightly different. So it's like 5 different tactics, and they're all play completely differently.
I think even having like I've usually got like 2 or 3 set now, so I've probably got about 3, but it's usually like version 1. That's what I start my test, and then I've got a couple under, but I can go back to them. And now that I've not got a like for like, what I used to do is have a like for like. I'd have a 22 man squad. So I'd have 2 strikers, 2 were pacey, 2 were like big physical guys. Now that I'm working with like 3 strikers, for example, sometimes I'll have like Chad and Ellie, for example, up top. He's got like 90 pace or whatever. But if he's needing rested and I've got like Wagner and I don't know, Resende or something like that, who are both like physical guys, I've kind of got to change my tactics a bit there as well. So even like preset tactics, I've still got to kind of set to how my players are. Same with my centre backs. I'm trying to run 3 centre backs rather than 4 centre backs. So I used to have like my pacey one would be on the left hand side, or if he's left footed, or and it's just like OCD probably. But I'd always have that a pacey one and a physical one. But if I'm playing like 2 physical guys that are a bit slower, then I've got to change it up rather than having like 2 guys with like 80 pace. They're 50 pace, so I kind of run the same risk as I would like with my standard one.
Exactly. So if your defenders have low pace, you don't really want to be running a high line, because if someone plays a ball over the top, your defenders are going to be running through treacle trying to catch up with them.
And especially for like wide mids as well, like, because I don't know, like I like to look at defensive duels 1 and whatever the other one is. What's the other one? Defensive duels 1 and dribbled past. That's the 2 that I like to look at there, because like I like my guys being solid, but I also like them being creative. And wide mid, especially last season, wide mids just got fucked over anyway. But in general, I like them being solid, but I want them to create chances. So again, I just depended on their stats, kind of. I suppose that would work whether I'm changing formations or sticking with the same one. I'd still need to make sure it suits it. But it's a lot easier just to stick with one and just know their strengths.
I don't know what you guys have found about like yellow cards. Obviously, they went up last season. Everybody knew they'd gone up anyway, but it was confirmed in the mid-season reports. Obviously, they went up an absurd amount in some of the higher leagues, but in the lower leagues, they still went up. They wanted to rein that in a little bit, and they wanted for more central players to get an equal number of like yellow cards and red cards. I think one of the first friendlies I ran in the new engine, I had aggression on everybody. I just wanted to see whether that was my centre back got a red card within like 10 minutes. So I think possibly they have managed that. Like from like other games, it was looking like my central players like CDM and centre backs especially were getting as many yellow cards as the out of the players on the wings. Obviously, I'm only going off like a handful of friendlies at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see. Like, Adam, have you run more friendlies this season so far? And if you have so far, what's your thoughts on yellow cards?
I was just actually looking back, and I went to go because I've been doing it in that training centre thing because I had bought some new players, so I wanted to test some things out. And I've got the team instructions on more aggressive, just to do the same sort of thing rather than individual. And even then, I don't recall many a red card at all. And I certainly saw a decrease in yellow cards, and it wasn't the same positions constantly getting booked. It was quite even, like when they did get booked and stuff. So yeah, that seems to have been a definite improvement. There's a stark contrast from what I've seen.
As you can see, Kev heard we were speaking about his ears must have been burning as he was driving back. He has joined us. Hello, Kev. How are you, sir?
Hello, chaps. How are we doing? Sorry, I haven't caught any of this. I've been on the way home.
No, we were just mentioning, we were talking about like the main topic of the day, which was either going down the route of this tactic beats this tactic, or optimizing one tactic, having a smaller squad. And so we haven't really got around to talking about the pros and cons of both. But
what's the outcome? Am I just strange and everyone's normal, or?
No, I don't think there is sort of like a correct way to play it. I think that eventually will be like if you're like happy to put in a lot more work, and potentially, don't get me wrong, I think the optimal way to play is to be able to run lots of different tactics and spend lots of time optimizing all of those tactics, so that when you sort of like playing someone, you've got the perfect tactic to play them and do lots of opposition research. to do that, you need lots of players to play those formations, and you need to put in a lot of time on the friendlies, which I think you do, which is probably why you play that way. But why do you go down that route rather than having like a solitary formation and trying to maximize that?
Well, it's a few reasons. One of them is element of surprise. I don't want people knowing what I'm going to play, and I mean, we know who's playing a 4-1-2-1-2, you're playing a 4-3-3-D, and there's not always a good way to prepare against that. I mean, you can play your 4-3-3-D and lose. So I just believe there is ways to prepare against it. And obviously I run bigger squads to cover all these different formations. So I want all those players to play. That's another reason. So if I'm running one formation, I can't play all my players because I'm deliberately running big squads. And yeah, just tactically, I just think it works better in certain games against certain formations.
And you're definitely right. I remember like having to play Sid a few times in the past, and honestly, I've like overthought it so much that I've ended up just bottling it and playing a formation or playing backup players. Like, I'll throw this match and go after the other matches. And the reason that happened was because I knew that Sid played so many different formations. And I remember the cup match against you, the Ramble versus, which team was it? The Fire? I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I think it was the Fire, yeah.
Yeah, it was a cup semi-final. Was it the semi-final? Yeah. Like last season. And I, like the night before, I was just, I don't know what to do with this match. And like the next morning I woke up and I saw you running loads of friendlies. I thought, oh God, I need to do something. So normally I'd speak to you about this sort of stuff. So I tapped up Bruce, and we were debating sort of different formations and ways to play. And I thought you were going to play a 3-5-2-B, although it was quite close. I think you said there was a few different options you could have played, and you did end up playing that. Yeah. And although I won the match, I think, I definitely didn't win it convincingly. So, and I spent a lot of time preparing for that. So it is very difficult when you're playing against people that do play multiple formations.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I'm impossible to prepare against, and that's one of the main reasons that I do it.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, you do need to put in the work, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of testing, a lot of prep, buying a lot of players for a lot of positions. But I mean, it's just the way I enjoy to play the game.
Exactly.
You do see a lot of people in the Discord. You'll see the odd person just going, Kev Heard, thanks again for that chat. I tried your 4-4-1-1 and it worked perfectly. I won my game. So like, there's obviously stuff that you look at that even helping others, even if it's not your team, helping others and seeing, what their next opponent has been playing and what you think is gonna help them win that game. And more often than not, it works. So I think it shows that both of them definitely work.
Yeah, because within, like, I play a 4-3 defensive. I'll be playing that definitely on the majority of teams, if not all of them this season. And like, as I said earlier, like, I'll have 5 different presets. Like, one might be direct, one will be low and direct, one will be, and like they'll play in completely different ways, and they'll do better against certain teams and certain formations. And that's like easier for me to manage, rather than but I'll run a hell of a lot of friendlies. I have started to run some, and I'll be running a hell of a lot this weekend, trying to optimize it and get off to a decent start this season. Sometimes it works out, other times it takes me until mid-season. I just hope that this season I can nail it early. But have you started doing like friendlies yet, Kev, for this season? Or are you waiting until the Engines final this week on Friday?
Yeah, I'm mainly waiting. So I've done just a little bit. But from what I've seen so far, it's much and such very similar to last season.
Yeah, my impression as well. But yeah.
But bar the silliness, bar the red cards, the defensive AI problems, the goalkeeper problems, all that seems to have gone from what I've seen so far. But I've not overly watched my games either. I've literally just ran friendlies in the background while I've been sorting out teams. So, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. A lot of my tactical setups from last season are working pretty well.
That always worries me, like, because I've done the same as well. And then I always think, they'll make some tweak on Friday, and then suddenly everything will go to shit, and I'll need to spend the weekend and die.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I'm kind of stressed about that, to be honest, because I'm thinking, because I kind of wish now I was at a point where I could just rip everything up and start again. But because I've started with last season's tactics and they're working well, I'm thinking, well, it's fine. I'm set now. You know, I don't need to change much. And then engine change comes in over the weekend and, you know, it's just carnage. So, but yeah, let's see. Let's see if it changes again.
And what's your plan for the season then? We asked the other guys earlier, like, you know, I explained that with Funky Monkey and Gold, I'm probably going to be min overalling and farming the team, although I will still be trying to beat teams. You're this season still managing La Furia Española in Diamonds. You survived the playoff, which was fantastic to stay up. So that is going to be tough, but I believe Bob is going to need some of the players that he loaned you last season. So are they going to be weaker this year?
Very good question. So we're still sort of building the team out. So far, it's looking like we might be a touch stronger because the front three are just incredible. But we're a bit weak in midfield, and we need a left mid and a cam. So in a centre mid, sorry. So 3 positions we still need. So we've got some offers out and we're waiting to see, but we'll be giving up more rev share than we did last season because it was mainly just Bob and Sid's players. But so they need them this season. So yeah, I'm excited for it. It should be fun. I'm hoping it'll be a better season than last time because obviously it was a bit of a struggle for me in Diamond, but I'm excited for it.
You survived.
I survived, yeah.
I'd ask you at the start. I'm sure I did ask you at the start of last season. What's the aim for the season? Like, I'm pretty sure you would have said survival. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, would I taken survival in a heartbeat?
And it was a bit squeaky bum time, but you did it.
I was projected 8th and I finished 9th, so you know it wasn't too bad. But no, as I said in the last time I was on the Ramble, I just felt like a lot of things weren't going my way, and then the last couple of games I got everything go my way, so I got all that luck in the last couple of games. So yeah, it worked out really well in the end. But no, the other teams they're all in an exciting place because I haven't really relied on loans this time. So I'm quite underpowered in bronze and silver, but I'm excited that I'm getting all the rev share myself. And I quite like being the underdog as well.
Yeah, no, I quite like that in some of the leagues that I was in. Obviously, some of the lower leagues I generally tend to be a bit overpowered, and the higher leagues I tend to be underpowered. But I look at the higher leagues as the one that challenge, and the cup, of course, because you know the cup draws are done. Everybody's relatively balanced, although you know it depends where you are on the spectrum within that sort of grouping or within that competition. The Ramble team, I said earlier that you made an announcement, I believe, yesterday or the day before that the team will be going out this season. Have we had any applicants yet?
We have, so we should really do the draw at some point.
Have we had any decent applicants yet? Well, so people were saying, give them to me if you want to get relegated. And actually, probably relegation wouldn't be an awful thing, to be honest with you. But
yeah, relegation really wouldn't be a bad thing because we're just too high for the community to support the team, which is exactly what it's built for. It's built to be a community team. But no, I was just going to quickly
relegation and a cup win.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. That would be absolutely perfect. But no, I was just going to quickly touch on my other teams. So I've only got, I think, 2 overpowered teams lower down. So I think one's in Spark, one's in Stone or Ice. So everything else is kind of par for the course because I don't have loans at every level like I did before. So I'm really excited about that. I don't think I'll get as much success as I've had previous seasons, but you know, hopefully if I master the engine relatively quickly or think that I have, then I might do well still. So let's see.
And you got the Aberdeens this year, new team you brought in.
Yeah, brand new Flint team.
Aberdeen license. Have you decided what you're going to enter them in yet? Are you going to enter them in a normal Flint league or are you going to enter them into the staff league?
Just normal Flint, yeah, because I think staff leagues are just commons exclusively. I've got loads of uncommons and stuff in there, in limiteds. So I would need to buy another team to do the common one.
Yeah. So, I still haven't decided yet because I do have obviously shitloads of cards that could get all players that could go in there. But the staff league does seem quite fun, like the extra games. Obviously, you're getting a lot more XP on those players as well, so it'd be fun putting freshly packed cards in there because they could get ahead of the curve straight away. But yeah, obviously harder to get promoted. But for me, getting promoted from Flint with that team is not really the objective this season. It's more about sort of getting progression on some of the players, or trying to work out which players might get progression?
Yeah, well, because I'm not relying on so much loans, I'm going to have leaner squads as well. Not massively. I'll still be trying to play or at least have one player for every position so I can play multiple formations. But it'll be more like 19, 20-man squads instead of 23, 24-man squads. So it'll still be a bit leaner, which is pretty cool. But no, for the Ramble, will we do a wheel spin or something? Do you want me to share the screen and build it in the background, or how do you want to do that?
We could do a duck race.
Duck race? Yeah, it's cool.
How many people have applied?
So we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Actually, we could do a snail race. I hear they're quite popular.
Yeah, that'd be cool as well. So it's just all the people that have reacted to the post that I did.
We need a new kind of race. Can't he be stealing everyone's animals?
Yeah, we need a Ramble race.
Apparently, there's loads on that site that Root is using. Yeah, but the snail race on Fast was quite good.
Do you know what site he was using?
I have no idea. I don't know if he's still here, actually.
No.
I like the fact you've Googled it.
Danny spent all morning losing to my 4-1-2-1-2. That's brilliant. Love that.
Snail race draw.
Can I rent Kev's duck? Nope.
Your ducks, man, they're on peds. Don't know how you do it.
The best ducks in the world. And yeah, or someone else announced the preseason friendlies as well. Have you seen that, Mr. K?
What's that, mate?
The preseason friendlies. Did Root tell you about that?
I don't think so.
It was. Remember, I think we spoke about it a while ago. But yeah, so I'll do a post at some point, probably today. But we're gonna do a joint Yorkshire Tea Ramble preseason friendly thing.
Nice.
So there's going to be loads of preseason comps coming up. So that's something exciting that we can announce just now and properly roll out later on.
Yeah, people like those.
Yeah. And are some of the prizes going to be? Have you decided on the prizes yet? I know what MFL offered, but
no, we still need to finalise the prizes.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that later. But I know there are some cards or some players and stuff like that were going to potentially be part of it. But have you just whack me a DM with the names, and I'll whack them in the duck thing. We'll do a duck one. But yeah, I'd quite like to pick our own animals. It'd be funny if we could find monkeys running.
I'll go and ping you those names. I'll let you boys chat.
Oh. The first friendly, losing 1-0. Useless twats.
First friendly on the engine.
I've not done any. I think, to be fair, I ran 2 last night, but I just stuck them on when I was building my teams, and I think it was my lowest team. So it's my first one with Edinburgh. I've not done any at all, actually.
I've got loads of friendlies in my HQ because all the delegated clubs that are out, everyone's running friendlies, so I can just look at the results. But now I've got a massive sample size to have a look through, which is quite interesting. I can see what people are running. I wonder, actually, out of curiosity, let me check something.
People have been running quite a few friendlies against me as well, but I just had a look, and half the players I don't even own anymore.
That's not it, no.
Okay. I've just sent you the names, Mr. Monkey, on our chat.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm wondering if I've loaned a club out, if they're using a formation, if I go to that club and look at the tactics, if I can see what tactics they're running.
You probably can if you watch the game, look at the heat maps.
No, not that. As in, I've loaned out White Rose Foundation. The guys run a 4-1-4-1. I never ran 4-1-4-1 with that team last season.
Oh, the clubs that you've got.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I've gone to that club, clicked on Manage, gone to the tactics page, and the 4-1-4-1 tactic he's running is loaded in there.
Magic.
So I can look at lots of different people's clubs. I can't remember how many different managers I've got. Lots.
So, yeah, the cream will rise to the top and you just nick their setup.
Well, that's what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking I've got loads of engine testing going on here. So if I come across one, hey, he's doing all right, him. Let's go look at that tactic.
That is not a bad shout.
Yeah, that's interesting. That I hadn't thought that. I never even considered that as a potential advantage of that sort of thing. Now I like it.
I wasn't sure you would have that sort of visibility, but it makes sense. You're the owner of the club.
Yeah, I see everything. I get every inbox message about anything to do with the club, even if I've not done it myself. So my inbox yesterday was blowing up. It was ridiculous. So yeah,
I think I'm taking a Spark Club off you by the sound of it as well.
you can, mate. I've got how many Spark Clubs have I got left to loan out?
I think I've got something like 47 players left to assign.
1, 2, 3. I've got 1 ice and 3 sparks at the moment left, and then that's all 29 I wanted to delegate out delegated.
Nice.
So yeah. So you can always top it up with a few of my guys if you needed reinforcements. If you just want to chuck your guys in there, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you. Yeah. Okay. I'll send you an invite over now. Yeah. I'll do the usual rate I've been doing for everyone. 25%.
Oh yeah. Well, you take 100% if you like. I mean, it's more just for the players to play for me.
Fair. How many do you want? Just the 1, 2? Sorry, everyone. You're all watching this while I do some negotiations.
Live negotiations.
I like it. Yeah.
You get chaos tactics.
I'm thinking if you take 100%, that compensates for not using your players. You know.
Yeah. Do that. There you go. I've just sent you 1. If you want more than 1 club, let me know.
Good man.
Done.
That's how it's done, people.
Yep. That's how loads of people have done. They've just messaged me and say, "Can I take one?" Yeah. Let's talk about it. Done. Here's the deals. Here's the situation. It's so quick. It's so easy.
Can I rebrand and put a big man shaft on it, or will I just keep it as is?
You can. You'll have to pay for the MFL for doing it. So that's on you. That one.
Right. Race is set up. We've got Rare River Badger. We've got Payne. We've got Solid Lard, Smoggy Pedro, Rory, Hunduzi, Dan LFC, Cole, Bold Sherlock, Calvin, Sid, and I can't remember. Someone that has P on the end. Who was that?
Who was the other one?
P on the end. No.
Hinduzi, Dan LFC, Cole, Calvin, Shadow Champion, Smoggy, SLD LRD, Hinduzi.
One at the bottom is. But yeah,
Bold Sherlock.
Bold Sherlock. No, he's in there. Add me. Malta Travel. How do I do? Oh, for fuck's sake. Now I'm going to have to redo it. Right. Start again. Talk amongst yourselves while I do it.
Well, first thing I would say is thanks, BigMrK. I just received your club, so that's a boost. Thank you.
No worries, my friend. No worries at all. Yeah.
I will take good care of that for you.
Yeah, no worries. They were the cup. They won the cup last season. They were those chaps, so you can always add a bit more silverware.
Nice. That's the plan.
Yeah. And if anyone else is watching and still wanting a club, then at the moment, I think I've got 3. I have got 1 Flint because I bought a new Flint license, just for my high progressing uncommons that I've got that I haven't got at home. But if anybody else is looking for a club, I've got a few left.
I've got loads of players. I could have one if you want.
If
I've
you
got
want,
loads of guys left.
if you've got someone left over and you want someone to play them, I can send you a club, mate. I don't mind.
Does it matter what level? Like, do you care what rating? Obviously,
Nope.
I care. But like, because I've got loads of uncommons, but I've got a fuck ton of limiteds. Absolute ton of limiteds.
Probably best in Spark then for your own progression.
Aye, something like that.
Yeah. I'll send you a Spark club.
I know, way.
I think you're happy if they go up or go down, or you're not fast.
Not worried at all. Not worried about the level because I've sat down and looked at the numbers and it's negligible for the promotion or relegation based on the model I got going.
Nice one.
There you go, mate. Just sent you an invite. All done. Yeah, no worries.
Right, there we go. Done again. Right. I'm not even going to look to see if anybody else wants to be added. But, right, set. 2 minutes. Right, Rare River Badger. Okay, all lined up.
Good luck.
Here we go. Good luck,
everyone.
Turn that music off. Still hear the quacks, which is perfect. Rory Jean, Hunduzi taking the lead. It's always someone at the back, isn't it? Oh, I do like Sid. He's repping the old judge's outfit for the.
It's not loaded up, Monkey, on the stream.
As for me,
Was it? No, this is me then.
Probably takes a few seconds. Yeah.
Oh, it's on the YouTube, Kev. You won't see it on the streaming thing we're using.
No, I just had to refresh the YouTube. That's all it was.
Fair. So what's the deal?
So
what's the deal with the Ramble Club? Is the team built already, or would the owner build the team?
no, so the idea was that the owner would build the team and just get full control for a season.
Yeah.
So they can throw in all their own players, they can loan from their best pal, whatever they want, really. But I've actually gave them a head start and just put in 5 absolute ballers in there. So
Nice.
from Sid, Gollum from Hatton, we've got the 89 rated keeper from DQ Smooth. So yeah, some cracking players in there already. The defense is basically built because we've got 4 defenders, a goalkeeper, and a CDM. So it's actually 6 players that we've got. So yeah, but I mean they can be sort of cancelled, amended if you want as well. So it just depends who wins it and what they want.
Yeah, there's a nice start
got
there.
a couple can go in there depending on who wins it. But
yeah, well that's it. I thought I'd give them a head start and they could just choose if they want to keep those players or not.
20 seconds left to get into squeaky bum time. Who's going to do it? Rare River Badger's been hanging around at the back. Got Shadow Champion coming out at the front. Cole in second place. Looking for someone who's going to make a bit of way. We come. Payne's coming through. Bold Sherlock as well. Rare River Badger at the top.
Oh, here we go.
Bold Sherlock by a beak.
There you go.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
Bold Sherlock, you are the new manager of the Ramble. Congratulations. And reach out to Kev. If you do want players added, I've got potentially a couple that I can add in there as well. But yeah, there we go.
Cool, eh? BigMrK said you might have a player or 2 for us as well. So
lovely jubbly.
All good. Nice one.
Trying to think what else I want to speak about. Anything else you guys wanted to speak about?
Well, the pre-season friendly comps, we need to sort that out, the rewards for it and stuff. But we'll do a big announcement for that later on. Really
they're going to be like competitions, When Dirt competitions, Ramble competitions, and YTXP are going to be running competitions. And there's going to be, I think, potentially special prizes for anybody that can win like one from each podcast.
That's the idea, yeah. So whoever can win sort of one tournament from each podcast will get a really special prize. But I just need to double check what that will be. So, but we'll pop it on. Sorry,
Timmy Vaughan's the special prize.
Well, that kind of special.
Timmy Vaughan is finally making the big time. He's in Mexico with Amrizi, and he'll be part of the documentary in his final season as an MFL player.
S. Keegan in the chat as well, who is Massive Eric's son. Just plugged the Ramble Rumble reverse auction. Unfortunately, Massive Ericsson has had a lot of health problems. I was chatting to him yesterday. Poor lad has not had a good time with it the last few months. So let's all send virtual hugs from the community to him. He's going to be selling off one of his clubs. He's just not been well enough to do anything really. So the Ramble Rumble are going to have a reverse auction. Whoever puts in, what's that, the lowest unique bid? Is that reverse auction? Yeah. I think that was the plan. The lowest unique bid will win the club. So could get it quite cheap if you can think of a unique bid. But I don't know whether does that have to be in pounds or in dollars, because otherwise people are going to be putting like 0.1p, 0.2p, 0.3p.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, that'll be exciting to see what he does with that as well. I said rule number 7, as long as they keep the badge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the badge where something's getting beasted. I won't say what.
The bestiality.
Yeah, there we go. Mash Erickson says it has to be dollar bids in round numbers.
Round numbers, yeah.
Yeah, none of that. So I would suspect that $1 probably won't win. So it depends how high you want to go, but who gets the unique bid. But it'll be a fun thing to do. You never know. You might get a team for cheap. Who knows?
And on the Ramble winner, Mr. Bald Sherlock, it'd be cool if he wants to appoint all 5 roles as well. So, tactician and all that other stuff that they've got.
But you don't have to give any rev share away for that, do you?
No, you don't have to. And as I say, it's up to him if he wants to do it as well. Has anyone done that for your clubs, BigMrK?
What's that, bud?
Used all the staff roles, or have they just taken on the manager?
Just taken on manager. I've not really played around with it. I've just chucked on manager, set it up. I give them literally having someone who's interested at the moment. I'm just sorting it out. They get contracts, contract offers, tactics, and competitions. You can do branding and social. You can give them the option of that.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. And then you can sort out rev share. But I've not tried any of the others because it doesn't seem to make any difference. It's just a job title. I suppose for you to label it yourself, I guess.
Is director of Metaverse Football in there, yeah?
That's a good shout. Let's have a look.
I think it's just director of football, though, is it?
Sport
Putting that in.
manager, assistant manager, sporting director, technical director, head of football operations,
That's
head
the
of
one.
recruitment, scout, head of brand, club secretary, and community manager.
Jimbo's fuming in the chat. No.
Frauds.
Has to go in there. Surely director of Metaverse Football has to be here.
Director of Metaverse Football, brackets, head of operations.
Yeah.
I was thinking Bolt Sherlock's got that guy that he's been trying to sell for a wee while. The 86 rated left winger with 98 pace and 99 dribbling. I wonder if he'll stick him in the Ramble or if he still wants to punt him.
Ironically, I was going to ask to loan him for the Ramble. So, yeah, that'd be perfect if he uses him.
It'd be so much fun watching him play. 99
He looks a beast, him. Yeah. But, yeah, I think Mr. SR Monkey's got a couple of players for us. Mr. K's got a couple. So, yeah, it's 10, 11 players straight away, pretty much.
But yeah, if you could get them relegated and win the cup, that would be the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
It would make next season a lot easier. But
I could throw in a few low-end rares to help with that relegation if need be. But but my bronze team is massively underpowered. I think the highest rated players are an 85, and the rest are all 80s and 81s. So I'm probably going to struggle myself this season. But yeah, happy to help Mr. Bald Sherlock.
I had a bronze team last season that I think finished second eventually, and they did have two Legos, but a couple of them, two of them only became Legos sort of, halfway through the season, and a lot of the players I was running were sort of low 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, just looking at that squad for the Aberdeen Degens, I finished second with a squad like that, but it all depends on the division you're in as well, doesn't it?
So no pressure.
No pressure, but yeah, all I'm saying is it is possible depending on the league.
Yeah, I mean, well, from what I've seen from the engine so far, I'm really, really confident tactically. So, yeah, let's hope that doesn't change. Because last season stuff's all working, so that's what you want, is it?
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
But without all the problems, so yeah, it'd be cool if that stays the same. Then I'd be quite confident sort of outdoing all the projections that I'm going to get.
I need to decide what to do with that 16-year-old that I packed. So he's an 83 rated 16-year-old. So in theory, I could put him on Funky Monkey because he meets the minimum there. But absolutely getting smacked about for a season doesn't feel like the best sort of environment for him. What would you do?
Oof, good question.
Would you put him on a team like that he's going to get smacked about? Sell him to McBride? No.
I would. I'd have him overpowered on a lower team. That's what I would do. So that way he's your main man.
Have a couple of guys that are above him, but he's still like in that sort of like thing, and he should get better ratings. Yeah, no, I think that's probably what I'll do. But I just wanted to get thoughts of other people.
At the risk of being clipped and memed, we're sat in the presence of the two best managers of the two 16-year-olds, the two best 16-year-olds in the game, I should say.
Stuff and meme them.
I'm looking at a deal for him at the moment, to be fair. I'm
exploring to me.
It doesn't involve giving it to anyone. It involves an exchange. So yeah, I'm in discussions. I've been for the last couple of days. He may be on his way. It depends on what the deal looks like.
Both of you have got
just in case people didn't know, this is the player that BigMrK packed last season. So 16-year-old, 83, exactly the same. Set to his 16-year-old striker called Wanderson dos Santos, ticking all of the Brazilian sort of things there, isn't he? He's got the Brazilian name, 16-year-old, 83, 91 shooting already. Could do with increasing his sort of pace, passing.
Yeah.
But, he's only 83. He's got plenty of time. So, yeah, I'd be interested to know what rough value did you put on him?
Oh, it's impossible. Genuinely impossible. I was looking at high hundreds. And that's the range, top high hundreds. If I got four figures, I'd be ecstatic. But I think someone wouldn't pay that until they see some progression.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's fair. So I'm discussing around those parameters, but I've got so many strikers and young, good strikers that I'm like, I need strength and depth elsewhere.
I'm short on strikers, so maybe he could team up with my 16-year-old. He could smack people about.
If it works out, if he gets sold, I've also got someone there. That guy I was showing you, he's 21-year-old, 82-year-old, Emmanuel Berron. He's the other youngster that I've got. If you want to have a look at him, but I don't know how you've got this. Phil, he's there, one up.
Oh yeah.
I'm amazed you're not keeping the 16-year-old and just building everything around him.
Well, it's one of those. It's a lottery ticket, isn't it? It's every player. Every player, he could go up one in his career. It could go up silly.
Yeah.
And I need reinforcements now, not later. So I was open to exploring a deal.
No, I get that. He's the richest lottery ticket around.
Yeah.
So. With the 16-year-olds, I'm sort of quite hoping that mine has a Prime Major 24 and lot of progression, because at least then he gets it early. So then he would be like a 24-year-old ultimate in my dreams. Obviously, but that's the idea.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely not selling mine. I think I'm just going to keep him just because it's a fun card to get. And, obviously, I saw the video he did, so I can't sell him after being so happy to get him. But yeah.
And what a way to promote the pack drop tonight. This is what you could have, people.
It could. It could.
The dream is the 16-year-old high-rated rare. Get one of them and you're laughing.
You could get that, or you could get this guy in your limited pack, which I did a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 seasons ago. Yeah, 2 seasons ago, I packed him in a limited pack as an 86-year-old.
Oh, his progression's nice.
86-year-old. I'm sorry. 21-year-old, and he's had a bit of progression already. So he's already up to 90. So, if he gets another +3 this season, I'll be over the moon.
From a limited pack. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the dream. That is why we buy packs. As I said earlier, someone on the stream is getting a Lego tonight. So
they're tingle in the balls.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be ripping as many as I can afford, probably at the lower level, unfortunately, tonight. But it's going to be fun. But yeah. Right, let's get out of here anyway. I need to start building my teams. Need to go out for a run, try and wake myself up, and then get ready, because obviously it's pack drop night. So we've got Amri in the leading show. We've got Jimbo doing the main show. I hear he's got a fantastic guest, marvelous, good-looking chap. So I'll be wondering, perhaps people will know. Maybe he's already announced it, but that will be this evening. But yeah, really looking forward to that. But thanks for joining us to BigMrK.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Are you boys on with Amrize later?
Yeah, me, Bruce, and Brute, we're all jumping on with Amrize for a pre-Pratt Doc stream. And I think we've got
pre-Pratt Doc gangbang.
Oh, that's after. But no, we've got that with Amrize. I believe he's got, I think it's 5K's worth of MFL up for grabs. MFL have contributed towards it very kindly. So yeah, I think it's going to be on YouTube and Twitch. So 7 p.m.
I probably won't have to tune into that, but if you remember, tell Amrize I'll whack a common pack in there if he wants to give one away as well. But
very kind of you, mate. Thank you.
But tell Amrize I love him.
And that's it. No common pack.
David says common pack. Hudder says he'll give you some love.
Special
accent.
But,
I'll just be in the stream harassing him anyway. So yeah, I'll see you.
Perfect.
Nice. But great. Thanks for joining us again, Kev. It's nice that you managed to squeeze in, sort of racing back from your meeting to squeeze us in a little mid-afternoon ramble. And hopefully next week, maybe we'll start doing evening rambles again and get some of our US viewers on. But there's still a few people that I'd love to get on the show that we haven't managed to organise yet. But we will try and sort that out this season. But that is everything from us. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We will be back next week. Goodbye.